Welcome to the bizarre and wonderful world of 80s Japan. We've got money, even more money, video games, miracles of the economic kind, miracles of the Johnson kind, economic bubbles, bubble, and also brutal gang warfare and conspiracies. Everyone wants to punch you, everyone wants your cash, and nothing but your fists can convince them in this fictional recreation of an Asian version of Detroit. Whether you take control of Kiryu Kazuma, the Yakuza grunt whose ability to punch real hard is only exceeded by his stunning intellect and his ability to evade a woman's charms like Neo on legally dubious performance enhancers, or of Majima Goro, a one-eyed man broken by the societal pressure to perform neurotypicality after being held captive for a year in the local Wendy's basement, there's many goons to be neutralized, dance floors to be slain, shenanigans to be experienced, pants to be unstolen, and grim plots to be unearthed. The experience this game puts you through achieves a level of tonal whiplash equivalent to watching a VHS tape of a serious crime drama like The Godfather, which for some reason randomly contains an episode of Seinfeld every 30 minutes. $3! So join me on a melancholic, nostalgic walk through the crime-ridden streets of Tokyo and Osaka as I present to you the wacky yet murderous underworld of Yakuza 0. I mean, this is just David Bowie, isn't it? Kiryu went to collect a small debt of $1 million, but it seems he miscalculated and forgot that his fists hit like bullet trains, leaving that nice and upstanding citizen shot dead in a ditch. But not just any old ditch, no, it's a billion-yen ditch. With this act, Kiryu managed to set ablaze the powder keg which is the entire hierarchy of the Yakuza and small businesses that build up in Kamurocho. Following this blunder, Kiryu is summoned by the three gangstalker chieftains of the underworld: Kuze, the man who chooses violence whenever he can, and also when he can't; Shibusawa, the smart one, I think, he's pretty quiet TBQF, and Awano, the funky one. He also enjoys murdering women. These three answer to the call of Mr. Dojo Mama, a man so interested in these affairs that he shows up like 5 times in this 30-hour-long story. Not only is Kiryu kinda fucked now, but so is his Yakuza daddy Kazuma. Kazuma, not Kazuma mind you, but Kazuma knows how to save Kazuma's career by sacrificing his own. He wants to leave the Yakuza behind and start a new life. Maybe on a farm. Or he could run an orphanage. In any case, against the wishes of his sworn brother and his step-uncle-in-law's mother's boyfriend, he goes to see his boss to hand in his resignation. Affairs like this tend to be a tad different in Japan, sometimes even quite hysterical. Kuze attacks Kiryu because violence is the answer. Sadly, no one was asking. Kuze also accidentally allowed Kiryu to leave the family. For this embarrassment, Kuze loses a finger. It is time for a career change, and by luck Banjo and Kazuma walks into a certified businessman, Chinese Bezos. You want a job? Come with me, please. Undress and take a shower. Wait a second, this is pretty weird. I think I'll leave. Wait, I haven't even told you about all of the benefits. A competitive salary, a rich and fun work environment, a flexible schedule. Yeah, I'll leave. I also have your clothes. Fuck. Anyway, come join me and together, you and I can rule this city. Spider-Man. I really like my clothes. I can even do this. Damn, that's pretty cool. I'll be back tomorrow. Kelio goes on a trip around town to find out more about this mysterious company, which he does by mingling with the local populace of the homeless variety. As he returns to his future employer, he first must face the test of Brad Pitt, Chinese Bezos' lover boy. If you wanna fuck the president, you'll have to go through me first. Of course, a good fisting cannot be avoided one way or the other. Now that that's taken care of, we finally got a full-time job on our hands, and also an avenue to find the actual killer. I guess Kiryu didn't actually shoot him to death by punching him. Now let me introduce you to a man who needs no introduction. On the other side of the planet we call Japan, the elusive Lord of the Night, the owner of the Majima is a suave guy. He knows how to dress, how to impress, and how to press this button to instantly kill 3 people. He's a very special individual. To get back into the Tojo clan which banished him, he's been put into a new line of work where he must lick the feet of the Harvey Weinsteins of this world to make money. Well, I've almost got the money. Deal's almost over. That's good. But let's alter the deal to 5 times the money. So that's not how deals work. Let's alter the definition of deals to mean just that. That makes no sense. Alright, let's also say you have to murder a person. I think that's a good deal. Majima doesn't protest too much. It might be Stockholm Syndrome or just a hint of masochism, who knows, but as established, this man isn't quite what we call a normal member of society. Welcome to Night City, my ghetto. Much like Kamurocho, this place offers many flavors of sexual harassment and degeneracy. There's also cool bridges, funny colts, bag phones. There's cabaret club. What the shit is that? Enjoy a couple games of darts and pool and have a couple of drinks with a few good friends. You go and kill this buff Chinese guy. Seems easy enough. His name is Massive Man. But buff Chinese Massive Man is actually a half Chinese blind girl. This challenges his moral compass. It was much easier back when he knew his victim was entirely Chinese. His moral compass spinning in overdrive, Majima decides to become the White Knight Supreme and fight for the honor of his blind waifu, and subsequently dump her off into a warehouse, abandoning her for their whorehouses to be run. Now that Kiryu has left the bondage of organized crime behind, he must become an upstanding citizen. And what makes one more of an upstanding citizen than becoming rich and hoarding all the capital in your general vicinity and beyond? Even more than in real life, money is everything in this game. So let us search for the nearest bakery and get some bread. But before that, Kiryu's drip game is weak as fuck. That has to be changed. There we go. If you have the money, you can do anything in this game. Buy pot noodles, you can do it. Get yourself some performance-enhancing drugs, definitely tested by the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare. Why go ahead? Buy a new car? Of course. It's a bit small though. If you've got enough material possessions and if they don't manage to fill the void inside, you can do just that by literally injecting money into your veins. Just don't use this weird mystery syringe. That's only for your enemies. By putting your sweet yen into your bloodstream, you unlock the hidden potential of your many battle styles. There's of course the boring upgrades for health and damage and so on, and many different heat actions, which are variations of utter destruction of limbs and faces. It becomes a bit more interesting when investing in the betterment of your styles. The brawler style, where you punch, but also like really hard. The rush style, where you punch, but also you're possibly on crack cocaine. I mean, it's the 80s. My bike got stolen recently. I was pretty bummed out about it, but I think whoever stole it was probably more happy to get it than I am sad to lose it. So, whatever. Majima also has his multiple styles, which are all variations of being a fucking insane man. You unlock the secret legend styles by grinding through the respective side game. Majima, by repeating the same minigame over and over again, has slowly lost his sanity, resulting in him snapping and having his Joker moment. The weight of society was too much to bear, leaving a broken shell of a man. There's only so much one man can take. And Kiryu, well, he can punch, but like harder maybe? What you need to know, we live in a late-stage capitalistic dystopia where your paycheck comes from literally beating up people on the streets, whose bodily molecules disintegrate into fresh moolah. If the money you get from goons on the street doesn't suffice, you can put it all on the line and gamble in many great and fair games. There's poker, there's mahjong. I have no idea what I'm doing. There's a bridge. There's also illegal catfighting but with women. Huh. Well, gambling isn't all I wanted it to be. We need something more predictable, more consistent. How about the stock market? Kiryu has become a humble employee of Amazon Japan, working with Brad Pitt, where he mostly just once again beats people up. And somehow he has soon managed to fall upwards into the position of being the quasi-president of a real estate company doing business. To buy up the entire town, he must win a round of Monopoly Kamurocho edition against his worst foes yet, rich people. This edition is pretty strange though, it involves a lot of punching. The goal of this fun for the whole family bonanza is to buy every property on the board. If someone else owns them, you offer money. If they want them back, you beat them up. This way you fight through the 5 capitalist bigwigs of Tokyo that control it from the shadows. Among them you have Leisure Suit Larry, the CEO of prostitutes, the average Wall Street bets user, a man who, well, he has money I think, and a man belonging to the most targeted socio-economic group of them all, gamers. After taking care of them all, you face the true mastermind, another rich person. Kiryu is not the only one to pursue an honest man's wage slavery. Majima has carved out his niche in the prostitution pro league industry. Go on and make money and also attract new customers by pimping professionally. Or just go tell the local arcade to hand out some prostitution flyers to the children. Sadly for Majima, the woman trade isn't quite as profitable as the business trade, meaning the amount of money he gains pales in comparison to Kiryu's riches. But luckily, there are ways to become become richer still. There's these brutes running around called Mr. Shakedowns. They're basically this world's equivalent to the IRS. The thing about them is they hit like a tank on steroids, and they steal all your money if they win. The money you worked so hard for by beating up other people and pressing a button sometimes. They claim, I believe it's called the stupidity type phantom tax, that is, your money, every last yen of it. Which isn't good, this being against the Shadow Proclamation or something. I don't really understand the inner workings of the Japanese underworld. These guys may even make you want to say, holy shitballs, he's strong. But because they hit so hard, they hit quite slow. So with a bit of finesse and patience, beating them is not as impossible as it may seem. Taking them head on is generally quite good, because winning nets you a lot of cash, and losing is an investment strategy. Yakuza 0 is somewhat of an economical wish fulfillment simulator, where everything is dirt cheap, where the housing market is simple, where finding a well-paying job is simple. Life could be a dream indeed. Well, as I was saying, Kiryu goes to a bar called Serena to meet with Brad Pitt, but instead he finds Nishiki here. He reasons that Yakuza don't tend to appear here, making it a great area of respite. The Yakuza arrive, and with them, a bloody Brad Pitt. Awano and his gooners are here to make him an offer Kiryu can't refuse, which he refuses. I really think you should reconsider. I won't. Alright, I'll give you 24 hours. Kiryu didn't reconsider. While his boyfriends keep searching for the lot's owner and the guy who died in the lot's killer, he is pursued by Doja Cat's forces of evil, which he of course defeats, barely a sweat having been worked up. Still, he accepts the offer of a very trustworthy hooker who shows him into the sewers, where an old friend awaits him. As if it wasn't enough already, now comes Funky Kong, his next obstacle. Give up or I'll shoot this woman. What? See? I literally didn't know her. Oh, anyway, we've got you surrounded. Damn, how did he not fall for that? Luckily, Nishiki is here to save Kiryu from certain doom. What an honorable man. At least we know that we can always count on him. Please, I have to kill you. Otherwise, they will kill you. Do it. Nishiki didn't do it. Back in Majima land, he learns the sad backstory of Makoto, who was trafficked by a mysterious Batman, losing her eyesight as a result. He meets up with Lee, the blind girl's only friend in this cold world, who was shot earlier, which of course doesn't stop a Yakuza character, except when it needs to. He goes on to drug the girl to tell Majima about his most delightfully devilish plan to save Makoto. Kill another woman with a similar body and bash her fucking face in. But don't worry, she's actually like a totally evil woman. Majima disagrees with the plan, ever the pacifist he is, and beats Lee to a pulp. He disposed of the murder plan accessories in the most inconspicuous place there is, a public trash can. Couldn't be modern day Japan. The next day, the murder was successfully perpetrated by the Joker, who visits Majima in his humble abode. The Joker wants Makoto, Majima wants to know why, but rather than either of them getting anything, they fight. It being a knife fight, of course, both parties survive. Sagawa makes his appearance and congratulates Majima on a successful murder, just questioning why the victim was made so very apparent and why the Omi Alliance's Joker made a visit. You know, you've been seeming kinda sus lately, almost like there's an imposter among us. So tell me, why, I don't know. Believable, have a nice day. Believe it or not, somehow Majima's lies did manage to lead to a happily ever after for all involved. The gang is backstabbed and attacked by a man who is swiftly front-stabbed. They try to escape. Lee makes his exit the Irish way, and Sagawa-han almost finishes what he started, the only obstacle being the bullet in his back. Things aren't much better for Kiryu, whose apartment, gone, whose best friend, gone, any chance of bitches, gone. Indeed, he has become much like the average Japanese salaryman, for he has nothing left except his job. He wanders the streets, knowing he is a wanted man, and knowing he can't go anywhere without risking the people there and risking being found. He happens to meet the mistress of Nishiki's favorite bar, and seeing as it worked out great last time, he comes with her. In an utterly unexpected turn of events, the Dojan gang finds him there and goes for broken noses. He ingeniously leaves the place and stumbles upon the Three Stooges. Yakuza loses once again, and just as things take a turn for the much worse still, holy shit, it's Jeff Bezos in a car. Calamity has been pushed further again. They have a heart-to-heart, and the heart-to-heart ends in Bezos' heart stopping, damn near dying. I didn't even know he was sick. He's transported into the Chinese ethno-state village of Kamurocho and will be kept safe here. Kiryu doesn't belong though, and is instead banished to the homeless village. Here he shall live now, fighting the anti-homeless alliance. Brad Pitt gives Kiryu a cruise out of the homeless camp into the HQ of the guys trying to kill him. Bezos is there, ready to pay 1 billion yen for his life, as he has very platonic feelings for him. The fact that I could have easily paid that myself thanks to these walking duplication glitches shall remain my secret. The decrepit-ass chairman agrees to the deal, and then sends 100 men to beat up 3, one of them being a cripple, as we haven't had a good fight in a while. Everything has been happening according to my design. The quiet kid is finally planning on taking matters into his own hands. Brad Pitt and Kiryu will move to Osaka to locate the shitty lot's owner, who is in the hands of an ally to the cause. Well, this ally is out cold right now, and he is tied up and beaten once again. In the Burger King basement this time, his dad is mad at him, but can't kill him cause he needs to find Makoto. Majima decides to go looking for the Joker, for which he contacts Officer Gordon, as the Joker is still in prison. Of course he won't bring him there just like that, but only after Majima performs in the secret illegal Fight Club stadium with a nonsensical entrance that comes standard with every Japanese nightlife district. After defeating Batman's knockoff villain gallery, Gordon reveals that the Joker is actually kinda Batman in a way, and he visits the Joker and fights him again. They talk about who the shooter man might be and realize that all 3 of them are under Tojo payroll, just through different parties. They decide to be gay lovers and team up, until Gordon dies and then the Joker dies and Majima decides to maybe become the Joker in the future, but that has to wait, because he needs to save Makoto first. Majima and his father go to the Horse City, and Majima fights his way through every man alive. Ah, it was all but a test, and now I shall test you more. You have passed the test. The girl's not here anymore though, lol. Lol, I survived this, don't worry, I'm in the game, this is a prequel. Majima will head to Tokyo to find this Kiryu guy who has taken custody of Makoto. Back in time, a long time ago, Oda and Kiryu began their road trip down west. They went to the Horse City to make a trade deal, one of the best dare I say, and quickly made their way back toward Tokyo. Though someone's acting saucy. After a quintessentially shitty Yakuza car chase sequence you do not want to play on Legendary, they hide in an abandoned building, where Brad Pitt has a heated gamer moment. It was me. I was evil the entire time. You were a real one, man. I'll miss you. They return to Kamurocho, where Kiryu drops her off at the homeless encampment to go play some video games. In the meantime, Tachibana's caught a cold or something. The long-awaited chance for a meeting between the siblings is quickly destroyed by the Dojima boys raiding China to get to Tachibana. Oh yeah, did I mention their siblings? Yeah, they're siblings. More specifically than these lame-ass goons though, the real problem is the Chinese assassin man who allegedly, as per Touch Banana, carried out the murder on the empty lot. Allegedly, but also really. He shoots Kiryu a few times, which will be forgotten after 2 more cutscenes. Either you kidnap me, or I'll kill myself. Yes. On the way to the homeless, more gooners appear, which really would never be much of a problem to a guy like Kiryu, even while spotting 2 or 4 more orifices than the average human being. But still, Nishiki appears and has stopped being a little bitch. I would never betray you, Kiryu. Well, time to save our boss. How could we carry on without our day job? Hey you, what? You're that gay. Everything is Jova now. While all this is happening, Majima is just kind of dicking around in Tokyo. A bunch of gooners come by to politely ask him to come meet his other Yakuza father who banished him from the clan, and who orchestrated Majima's part in the affair to get the Osaka Yakuza to get the empty lot so he can fuck the Tojo clan in the ass and then become its chairman. Majima was never truly meant to kill anyone, which was Big Guy's true genius plan. Majima, having been played for Wonkus the goddamn clown, is depressed because he is big dumb, and lets himself be beaten up by a bunch of random asshats. Once the being beaten up business is taken care of, he goes to search for Kiryu by beating up all his friends. It didn't help much, so he went to the crappy lot where Makoto is just kinda standing there. Majima can scarcely take the now half-blind, half-Chinese girl's trauma dumping, and with a questionable amount of decor, asks her out on a date. She takes a few free balls but soon bails when his eye is turned. The Millennium Tower doesn't exist in this millennium, but we do need a high-tension scene on a skyscraper to call this a Yakuza game. For this reason, Makoto has gone to meet the gang with a sweet deal. Kill yourselves now! Just to be tricked and almost killed by them, forcing Majima to go sicko mode. No, you don't kill people, you dum-dum. As Makoto racks up a nice hospital bill, all the remaining players are getting ready for the finale. Kiryu is bored now, but luckily, Kuza is there to entertain him. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Five times. Kuza dying again has him turning into an exposition NPC. Him telling Kiryu about Shibusawa's master plot twist plan. This man having instructed the Chinese hitman to shoot Makoto but not kill her, so Lemon Sour can kill everyone or something like that. He is now on the attack and Kiryu must stop him. Majima meets these jackasses again and finally has his Joker moment. This is the moment Majima became Mad Dog. After that, he storms the Tojo HQ to kill Dojima. It is now Kiryu and his family vs Shibusawa's clan and Majima vs Dojima's clan. Both protagonists fight their respective ways through the goon parades. Majima encountering Awano, who he beats until he becomes a Skei lover and dies. He faces Dojima, which means he actually faces the hired gun Chinese electric Spider-Man who shot these people. Shocked as he may be by his goon's loss, Dojima uses the confusion to kill Majima, except he's in this game, so he survives through a classic act of divine convenience. Kiryu faces Shibusawa, whose motivations I do not quite grasp, though I think he wants to become a dragon. Kiryu wins as he does and is stopped from killing Sour Patch Man by Nishiki, who parts his ancient wisdom of killing bad. All the loose ends tied up, the Tojo clan is fine for now. Kiryu and Majima both fail the drip check. A few more people die, Majima is alone forever. And yet, in the end, he does find a new target for his affection. Kiryu-chan!